You ever have a dream that started in a video game? You know, a digital fantasy of speed and style that just felt so real you had to make it happen? Well, today, we're diving into the story of Bob Morgan, a guy who did exactly that. He took his childhood obsession with Gran Turismo and turned it into an 11-year, 562-horsepower reality.
And there it is, the Nissan Skyline R33 GTST. Look at it. This thing isn't just a car. It's the result of over a decade of passion, headaches, and just pure dedication. It's the real-life version of a dream that started on a PlayStation. And this quote from Bob just says it all, doesn't it? For so many of us, games like Gran Turismo were our gateway drug into car culture. They weren't just games. They were how we discovered these JDM legends. And for Bob, that little digital spark lit a fire that he's been fueling ever since. All right, so how do you get from a controller in your hand to the keys of your dream car? Well, every epic journey has a beginning, and Bob's dive into the car scene started way before he ever got his hands on this Skyline.
He actually kicked things off with a classic 1986 Mini, learning the ropes. Then he moved on to a Proton Satria that he modified so heavily it ended up in magazines. So you can see this wasn't just a random hobby, he was leveling up his skills, getting ready for the final boss, which he finally acquired in 2011.
And can you guess what that dream cost him back in 2011? Just over 2,000 pounds. I mean, what an incredibly humble start for a car that would eventually become this absolute monster. It had a few mods already, sure, but really, this was just a blank canvas.
See, buying the car was just step one. What came next was an 11-year odyssey of building, tuning, braking, and perfecting. This is where the real story starts.
I absolutely love this quote from Bob because it's just so real. Anybody who's ever built a project car knows this feeling deep in their soul. It's this beautiful labor of love, but man, it is also the source of so much frustration. It's that balance that makes it all worth it in the end.
So let's start where it really counts. Let's get under the hood and look at the heart of this silver beast. Just wow, take a look at that. That isn't just an engine bay. That's a work of art. Every single hose, every wire, every polished part tells a story of late nights in the garage and some serious, careful planning. Okay, time to get nerdy. This is where things get serious. We're talking forged internals, the crank, rods, and pistons from the legendary RB26 engine. That means it's built to handle huge power. Then you've got that massive modified whole-set turbo cramming air into it. To control the whole thing, you need a modern brain, which is the Link G4 Plus ECU, and a super reliable spark, which comes from an R35 GTR coil pack conversion. It's the perfect mix of old-school strength and new-school tech. Of course, a car with that much go has got to have the show to back it up. So let's talk about how he wrapped that incredible engine in an equally aggressive-looking package.
And this shot just says it all, doesn't it? It's wide, it's low, and it looks like it means business. The basic shape is pure R33, but every single detail has been cranked up to 11 to create something totally unique.
So here's the recipe for that look. It's basically a greatest hits album of JDM tuning parts. You've got the GTR-style top-secret front bumper, those massive over-fenders giving it that muscular stance, but the details are what make it. The custom silver paint has this 3-stage blue pearl, so it kind of shifts in the light, and you cannot miss that enormous APR carbon fiber wing. It's straight out of a video game build, which is just perfect.
So the car's a monster, inside and out. But what pushes someone to keep chasing more and more power? Well, for Bob, the ultimate motivation came from a very unexpected place. And honestly, it's one of the best stories I've ever heard in the car scene. Okay, picture this. The scene is Santapod Raceway, the proving ground for pretty much all the UK's fastest cars. Bob's on the line, ready to see what his machine can do. Now, you'd think the motivation to go bigger came from losing to a rival Skyline, right? Or maybe a Supra or something, the usual suspects. But the real reason for the next stage of this build was, well, something else entirely. That's right, he got smoked on the drag strip by a 70-year-old lady in a Rover 75. You can't make this stuff up. It's even on YouTube if you don't believe me. It's this hilarious, humbling moment that became the ultimate kick in the pants.
So that one, completely unexpected loss, sparked this relentless quest for more power. The best part is Bob says he's still friends with her and her family, and they still joke about it. But that little friendly joke lit a fire under him to make sure it never, ever happened again.
And the first major result of that pursuit? This number right here.
That's a dyno-proven 562.7 brake horsepower. That's some serious power that would definitely leave any Rover 75 in the dust. And on the track, all that power translates to this: a 12.6-second quarter-mile time at 118 miles per hour. And get this, he says that was with an easy launch. So the scary part is, there's even more potential just waiting to be unleashed.
But this story is bigger than just one guy and his car. This whole passion project grew into something much more.
Bob actually went on to found the Midnight 44 Club, which is a space for other car nuts to share their passion. He turned his personal journey into a whole community, going to shows and winning trophies not just for himself, but as a club.
And as we all know, a true project car is never really finished. The next targets are already locked in, somewhere around 650 horsepower and a quarter-mile time deep into the 11-second range. The evolution just keeps going.
So Bob's story started with a controller and a TV screen, and it became this absolute legend of the UK car scene. It's just an amazing reminder that our wildest digital dreams can become these incredible real-life things, which really leaves just one question for you. What dream are you building?